morning, everyone, and welcome to Dreams Unveiled with your host, Dawn Whittaker
And Danny
and
Burke.
Danny Burke. Danny is joining us again for a couple of videos. So we're very grateful for that. Thank you so much, Dan. I love working with you. He's my
Oh, it's
son.
fun.
Love working with you. Here's a story for everybody. When he was in like eighth grade, I was going to a parent teacher conference and I was absolutely lost in the middle school. And one of the teachers came up to me and said, "Are you Dan Burke's mom?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." And took me right to the room. When I told him that, he was absolutely appalled. He was like so ready to,
Oh, yeah.
he was so upset about that. And there are other things that were way worse. People can tell we're mother and son or we're related. People
Yeah,
can
it's hard.
tell.
The resemblance is uncanny.
Well, and I think too, our mannerisms are a lot alike too. I'm just nicer
Yeah.
than he is. That's all. So today, this will be a short dream. This has been a reoccurring dream for this woman, at least the a component of it, since she doesn't ever remember a time not having a dream about being chased by a black bear. So the black bear chase scenes have been peppered throughout her entire life since she was a little girl, and she has no recollection of moving beyond this. The dream is a little bit different, maybe a little worse, but it really depends on the context. So I'm just going to go ahead and read the dream and let's figure out what we can figure out. So here is the dream. The dream is coming from Jamie, and Jamie is from Camillus, New York. A dream of being locked in a building office. The building had no furniture. I'm locked in there with a couple of other people. I did not know these people. Did you have any sense of who? Okay, cut. I'm doing that over. This is so fragmented. I have to
Uh,
be.
uh,
All right.
Words are fun.
I may have to keep this. All right. All right. I'm going to read this over. A dream of being locked in a building. It is an office building, has no furniture, and she is locked in there with a couple of people she did not know, and she had no sense of who they were. Sometimes we call people like that, especially if they have no faces. You just see the people; those are shadow people in dreams. And we, collective, the group, could not get out, and the exit I think was locked, maybe not, but there was a bear blocking the only exit. And so in her dreams, she normally has dreams where she's being chased by a bear. You know, when you're a little girl and you're dreaming that kind of thing, that is some scary stuff. And there is some difference between being barricaded, but get it? Barricaded.
Uh, Barricaded.
There is some difference being barricaded by a bear and being chased by a bear.
Mhm.
So, what does it mean? What do you think in a dream it would mean to be chased by something?
Well, it definitely means more directly that you are, in fact, running away from something, but I could almost feel like it's something like a problem or something in your life that you can't get away from no matter where you go. It follows you, and in your dreams it can manifest as being chased by something.
Yeah, well, and you are pretty right on. She's being chased by something. Now, the what that is, I think, is going to be different, and I'll explain why. For because it's a reoccurring dream. So she's in her 60s. She's had this dream for a long time. And obviously the location changes, things change, but the bear is chasing her. So yes, she's being changed by something or somebody. Usually, and usually it's a problem, and it's almost always related to anxiety. When we're being chased in a dream, it is because we're having great anxiety about something we cannot control, something that has really manifested and taken over our life. We're ruminating on it all the time. Those are chase dreams for some people. And it seems to me that her brain, her subconscious has decided that whenever she's having anxiety or being chased by a problem and trying to escape it, that it just gives her this reoccurring dream. So she could have unrelated anxiety throughout her life, but the dream's going to say, "Hey, it's happening again." That's what the bear is, the bear chasing her. It's happening again. You need to address this. You need to confront this issue. So I think that's pretty cool.
Right.
Do you ever have chase dreams? Have you ever been chased in a dream?
I feel like I have, but it's been a long time since I've had a chase dream.
That well, that's really good. And what that typically means, I know it's not because you haven't had anything that's caused any anxiety,
Right.
what it means is that you are doing better in your waking time with processing through it and unpacking it and dealing with it to the best of your ability. So that is typically what that means. And I remember when I was a little girl, I had this horrifying dream. I had terrible nightmares when I was a little girl. I had this horrifying nightmare that I was being chased by witches on brooms, and I was in some kind of big cathedral hall or in a an area in like around a church, like a courtyard maybe, and I'm hiding under a cement bench from
Right.
these witches, and they're just circling above. Like they can't get me because I'm being protected by a cement bench. I don't know what that is, but it really let me know that I really did have a lot of, have worries and things that I probably was not processing through when I was young. And I was really young when I had that dream, early elementary school. So very interesting. But now we have a whole new situation for
Yeah.
Jamie. So Jamie is in an empty building, look like an office building, and it's just empty. She's in this huge space. So picture this, there's windows, maybe something that you would use cubicles in, but there's no furniture, there's anything. It's just in this big open space, one exit. They would never pass code. Big open space, one exit, and there's a bear sitting, that bear that chases her all the time, just hanging out. I dare you, come out. So,
Yeah.
this, first of all, she is feeling very stuck in some kind of a situation. She's feeling trapped. I love that most of the time, dream analysis is extremely common sense, right? When you
Right.
think of it.
Yep.
So she's being blocked by an obstacle, a big obstacle in her life. And that obstacle, because the bears in her dreams have typically manifested as some kind of anxiety inducing problem that we're going to assume is what is going on now. I
Right.
don't I didn't get a good sense from her of what was the problem was. It could be a number of things. Her and her husband both have health issues. There's a whole lot going on. So could be any of those things. I'm not sure. But this bear is now has her trapped in this building with three strangers. And the three strangers, first of all, she has seen those people sometime in her life. She may not see their faces. That's a shadow person. It's pretty common
Yep.
in dreams. And almost always, shadow people will represent you. So these are maybe parts of her or her life or her mind where there are things that she is dealing with that she is having a hard time um, addressing.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
So it is just, these are just hidden facets of her that are coming out. So she may have things going on that she's not addressing and kind of stuffing and keeping in there. And in the dream, they're out in the open, but she doesn't recognize them because she's a stuffer. Are you a stuffer, or do you when something's going on with you, are you very upfront about it?
Yeah, I think I used to be a stuffer, but I got very comfortable at releasing things and expressing them as they surface. Like I don't really hold on to anything anymore.
Well, and that's really helpful. And I'm the same way. I will say this though, sometimes me releasing that, I'm very offensive and I need to work better on that. I had a confrontation with a friend and
Yeah.
I really was I just like vomited the issue. But literally it was we were done with it in like minutes after I just said my piece. And I did apologize to her, but I do have to be better at that. But that is why we're not having those dreams.
Right.
So that really is a great thing. And I did talk about a tribe in Papua New Guinea on a previous episode where one of they very rarely have anxiety and depression issues at all. I mean, scientifically, it's definitely worth a look. But at night, what they would do when they would put the kids to bed is the kids had the freedom to just share, and that was a requirement. Anything negative, any scary stuff, any hurts, anything that was negative emotion, they were humiliated or what have you. It all got this dropped before bed, and then they went to bed, and it was done.
Mm.
So they woke up with really a brand new day. They're not going to sleep. And let me tell you, sleep anxiety is pretty awful. If you've ever woke up and you have your heart palpitating and you're feeling tight and all of that, sleep anxiety is pretty rough. And people do have that. And we don't want to go to sleep. Our sleep is our restorative part. We don't want to go to bed anxious. When we do that, I feel like it does a whole lot more because it stops the natural restorative and healing process that we have when we're sleeping.
Yeah.
So let that be heard, people. So we know that the people are part of her, a part of her
Okay.
she's not really acknowledging. The office space is empty. So let's take a look at that. Why would the office space, there's no desks or anything, not a stitch of furniture. It is just empty. And it may represent how she is feeling about her life or some facet of her life, that it is she an emptiness, that there is just this emptiness. Maybe she doesn't know how to navigate. Maybe she doesn't know how to approach. If this is in a relationship, that emptiness could be a relationship. It doesn't have to be necessarily her psyche or her mind. It could be a relationship in her life. It could be maybe work. She feels unfulfilled. She's not,
Yeah.
and right now she's not working and she is looking for work. So it could very well be that. But in any case, it's a lack of fulfillment and and really feeling empty. And that makes my heart very sad because I never want to see people that way. That's really tough.
Right.
So then being confined and stuck, she's stuck. What kind of things could cause somebody to feel stuck?
Um, Definitely things that they're holding on to, things that, just like you said with the anxiety, that could definitely make you feel stuck if you don't know how to process certain situations and you end up, it seems to follow you into different facets of your life. And if she's had the bear throughout her whole life and all these different dreams, um, it could really just feel like no matter where she goes, there's something that has her like locked down that prevents her from really living in the experience or in life and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it could be any situation, right? Any situation going
Yeah.
on. I can think of a few areas in my life right now where I feel stuck. I think
Oh
it's
yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
common, right? Where you feel like you're spinning your wheels, you can't
Yep.
move forward. And like I said, it could be in a relationship, it could be in a situation, it could be I mean being stuck, it could be financially. It could be financially stuck.
Yeah.
So and like employment. So anything where you can feel, that you cannot move, that you are confined. I think that is a very important thing. Here she is, confined in a room with strangers. And what that means, first of all, her whole life is stuck, not just the conscious part of her that she is experiencing as herself in the dream. But on
Right.
top of it all, she feels helpless and powerless. She is extremely helpless and extremely powerless. And that really is a big deal. That's probably one of the worst ways to go through life is
Right.
powerless, helpless. And I think
Yeah.
when we do feel that way, we need to seek out the things we have power and control over, that we feel we are not helpless in. So there may
Right.
be particular relationships or aspects of your job. If you're really feeling that you don't know how to navigate something, seek out as your compass the things that you do and that you are good at. And
Right.
that kind of helps you to get your confidence and bearings.
Yeah.
So, so this is pretty much where she is. She's helpless. Her whole self is stuck, even aspects that she doesn't really deal with of herself. Everything's stuck. And it's a matter of what is going on in her life right now, because this dream just happened days ago,
Yeah.
that is causing that. And there, like I said, there could be a number of things. She did not disclose that to me, but I have a feeling when she watches this, she's going to know exactly what it is. And just so you know, we know she's got aspects of herself. I'm just having this thought
Yep.
where that she is, you know, not really aware of, or facets that are hidden facets of herself. Okay. And
Right.
so we know that exists. This could be not something recent. So I really want you to think about this, Jamie. It may not be something recent. It may be something that you are now being just prompted to deal with, that's been going on for a while.
That's
That you're being prompted, that your mind is saying, it's time, we've got to do something about this.
That's what I was thinking exactly, especially when you're looking at like the bear being the reoccurring theme. Different locations, different dreams, different situations, but just the fact that there's this bear that's constantly there, it honestly leads me to feel like maybe this is an ongoing issue or something involving herself that she has never really had to deal with this. And these dreams are manifestations of that part of her being blocking her way, you know, creating that stuck feeling. And it's constantly manifesting in a bear. And I think that the office is the most recent modern version of the bear blocking her way, where it's like it could have been a school in the past, it could have been the woods, it could have been like hanging out with people. But now, like in her current life right now, her surrounding, her environment is the office. And obviously, the office being hollow or empty, involves that hollow feeling of the office. And instead of the bear chasing her this time, the bear is almost like the door that's like, here you go, you're locked in, you're staying here, and you're not getting by me. So I wonder, like, she probably does feel stuck in her job, but I do wonder if also that bear represents something a little more fundamental and deep within her, that also needs to be dealt with. And I was kind of thinking this on the side. I'm trying not trying to jump the gun, but what if the bear being, guarding the doorway represents her initiative to take care of whatever the problem is that the bear represents? That if she faces the bear, it could actually be her only way out of her stuck situation. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, you're stuck here for this reason, handle this problem, and you may be free. Whether it means actually escaping the office, or maybe in later dreams, the office starts growing furnishings and her life just slowly starts, well, coming to life. You know what I'm saying? And instead of everything being so hollow, there's a little more content in her life. after dealing with the bear.
I think that assessment is right. And here's something very interesting. If this bear is spent, in her lifetime is there to help her acknowledge and recognize different anxieties and different things that she is running away from, then maybe that bear is is protecting her because whatever she has to face, maybe she's not ready. Maybe it's not letting her out because she's not ready. When you're being chased by something, you're it's almost like you're ready, but you don't want to acknowledge that you're ready. But when
Right.
you can't get out, then perhaps there's something really significant in her life going on right now, something pivotal, big decisions or what have you. And
Right.
and there's some safety in that empty building. But so now she's vying between, am I better off in this vast emptiness with
Yes.
parts of
Yes.
myself that I don't want to deal with? I want to pretend they're not there, or opening the door and not being
Yeah.
concerned about the bear.
Yeah, it could very much be like this. The emptiness of the office is my life, and although it's empty, it's safe. And it could boil down with her being trapped, especially if she's been chased this whole time and now she's cornered. It really could realize, like, be that pivotal moment where it's like, okay, you've gotten cornered into two options: stay in this empty comfort where it's safe but it's empty, it's unfulfilling, or face the bear and you know take care of those issues and have a more fulfilling life. It could be that she's literally just cornered now between two uh two options.
And this is big decision making.
Yeah.
Okay. And I do think, a lot of it maybe right now, she really needs to get a job and she is looking for work and she hasn't worked for a while.
Okay.
Because of health issues and so forth. So that may be part of it. And she may be really nervous. She's an older woman and this may be a bit of a struggle, but it may not be that at all. The feelings of that may have aroused other things. So here's a big thing. In the beginning, when I was reading the dream, I said the door was locked. I said, actually, I don't know if the door is locked. The door is not locked. When she's locked
Yeah.
in there by the bear. In other words, the choice to leave for her, it's a choice. She can get out of there. She can walk out.
Yep.
She doesn't see it. She's staying in there because she does not see it as a choice because of the bear out there. And
Right.
so this is about risk taking now.
Yeah. Yep, I agree 100%.
So where do you go? I mean, so whatever this problem is, it's a heavy problem, right? The bear chasing you, problems chasing you, could be everything. And you sometimes really have to sort this out. And it could be more than one thing. In dreams, symbolism can often represent multiple things at a time. And that's really very helpful. Our subconscious mind is extremely efficient. So it could be, let's go with the job thing. It could be, I need to get a job and I haven't worked for a while. I know I'm a good worker, but I don't know what's available to me. And let's face it, that looking for work is not always the most pleasant thing ever.
No.
Could be financial burdens can exist with that, right? Most people work because they have to,
Right.
not for other reasons. Most people do. I mean, I love my job. I hope you love your job. That's all I got to say on that.
Right.
It's worth it to love your job. And you can choose to love your job. So, so it could be all of that. It could be creating marital distress. And I'm pretty sure what she told me was that her husband was disabled. So she is the only one that really can be working or can maybe make enough money. So all of this, I think, is part of that. But you know
Yeah.
what? So we're gonna end. I think we've pretty much, there's not much more to go through. Um, I think she's really going through the motions in an emotionally empty environment right now. That's what I think, because she is too afraid to open that door. So Jamie, open the door. It is time to open the door. That bear, you need to confront that bear. You need to confront it. And that's why the stream's a little different. The problems aren't chasing you, they're trapping you.
Yeah, and I think there's something to say, what Jamie, when you're looking at the situation, look at the fact that the bear is not attacking you.
Right?
Yep, that I think that right in itself is a huge it's huge symbolism of the problems maybe that the problems that you're facing that could literally be your doorway to a better life aren't as big and scary as they seem, which is why they're manifesting as a bear, but the bear doesn't seem to be dangerous. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So maybe that's a good symbolization that you're really making a bear out of a bunny, if that makes any sense, you know?
That makes sense. And here's something else she did tell me that is absolutely is relevant is the bear was standing and walking around just like pacing just slowly, but it was on all fours. Wasn't standing up, which is more of an attack
Yeah, it was,
posturing, for
yeah,
as far as symbolism goes. So it's just out there and and it's time to confront the bear.
yeah,
And I think she, the reason why she is having this dream now is because she indicated to me that she was in counseling and really trying to get through some things. So maybe she's hitting a point where her subconscious mind is like, all right, you are ready, let's take this on.
yeah,
So good dream. Very good. I love dreams
yeah.
like that. That's really a sign of growth. This dream is growth, even though it's very frightening. Anyway, thank you for joining us for Jamie's dream. And if you have a dream you'd like to submit, please submit your dream to dreams@dawnw.com. That's dreams at DAUNW.com. If you submit it by email, please leave a way for me to contact you. If you don't want to submit it by email, you can go on my website, dawnw.com, and there's a fillable PDF you can fill out on the Dreams Unveiled under the Dreams Unveiled tab.
Good deal.
So that's it. And like, subscribe, share this with anybody you know. And thank you, Dan, for joining us. Dan's joining us from Amarillo, Texas. So we always appreciate having him here. And a happy 4th of July coming up for everybody. I hope it's a great day for you. And God bless our nation.